Generic greetings and welcome to Norland. Today's beverage is a chilled and indeed quite interesting pear soda. So welcome to what I'm inevitably going to call Norland at some point during this video. This is a medieval city builder with family tree mechanics. A lot of people have been using more direct comparisons, saying it's basically RimWorld with the sort of dynasty system from Crusader Kings, and I don't think that's an unfavourable comparison, but let's just go to new game and I'll show you a little bit of it. I've played maybe 5 or 6 hours of the game, but that's in a very short amount of time. So basically we have to start with on the default mode, or you can go with like you start with 2 brothers or 3 sisters or whatever, but the default mode is 2 brothers and a wife, and you can randomize the characters if you do so desire, and that changes not only their appearance but also like the skills that they have, the type of inhabitants that they are, so like their sort of ancestry. You've got your skills like manners and trade, persuasion, combat, etc. So you can have someone that's like really like say talented in manners but really good in combat, so they will hit you but they'll probably shake your hand afterwards. And yeah, the idea is that basically we're going to make like a number of characters to, you know, try and be sort of well balanced. I think I'm going to go with someone with combat. In fact, there you go, that's this person here, Stepan Slav, I think, and Verona and Luchov, just Bob. And there we go. Right, so let's go to continue. We've got good points in teaching, management, and persuasion. So you could start off a dynasty or family or whatever that's really good at combat, or is very intelligent or very good at trading, and obviously that'll filter down as you keep playing. So you have to start somewhere on this map here, and well, we're probably just going to go in the middle because it's easy. It has a lot of wood, not much ore, but decent food and other things like that. And you can also, if you were so inclined, you can change like the type of food that you're going to get, or the banners and all. You know, there's lots of customization here. You can even sort of ally up from the very beginning, but we're just going to go with default. And our starting scenario, you can say, well, actually, basically someone is imprisoned and you have to go and rescue them. You've also got crises, which is, well, one of them is unholy horde. I'm going to assume perhaps wrong that there's more going to be added in the future, because, well, it is it is early access, and you've got different modifiers and such. By default, it says prisoner, no crises, and peaceful mode. I'm going to go with that for now because this is just a basic tutorial. By the way, I've played enough to know that I really want to do a series on this, and it's something that I'll probably focus on once it's got a couple more patches in it. They've been patching it thick and fast. I don't think there's any major problems, but it's obviously in a state of flux at this stage, but loading up, and we'll see what we have to do. If we go with the direct comparison of, say, RimWorld, where you have different characters, all with individual stats, that is the case here, but you control really only a couple of people directly, and the rest of your what are they actually called? The residents here? They're sort of indirectly ordered. So we have a couple of things to focus on the top left here. This is showing all of the problems within this place. So we've got things like, we need a lumber mill, there's nowhere for people to pray, there is not a tavern, there's no alcohol, because that is a need that people have. It's not like, oh, if they go without it, it's a bit of an issue. It's like, nope, it's literally a basic need, and we need barracks as well. So how are we going to get on with this one? Well, let's just unpause it. I'm going to go over to construction and resources and the lumber mill, and I'm just going to place a lumber mill there and a lumber mill in here. And what happens is, if we go over to this main building, this is our main hall, and it's got an instructor, and the instructor, which I'm going to have as Bob at this particular instance, they basically tell people what to do. So they're going to gather people around and say, look, we've been ordered to make this lumber mill. Can you crack on and do that, please? So that's what Bob's doing, apparently, by shaking their fist. And yeah, they're going to then send off all of these guys. These, well, this is a builder. What have we got here? There's another builder. There's a merchant. You also get warriors as well. We'll get onto armies later on, because if we go to the world map, sadly, Verona is in captivity now. I think we can pay them to release them, but I think we're going to, you know, we'll probably wait for a bit of combat. Yeah. So that's all fine. What I don't like is that these buildings, they're not lined up, and I always like the buildings lined up if possible. It costs, I think, a little bit of wood in order to shift them, but that's not too much of an issue because we've got, how much? 490 generic units of currency. So what's going to happen is we're going to have... like I say, Bob, tell these guys what to do. Oh, looks like they're putting on armor as well. And they're going to go and build in this place here. So it takes 15 wood for each of those, so they'll do that. Let's just go back over to construction and to Rutabaga field. And I'm going to place this field. I'm going to place a couple of them like that. And that's where we can start to, obviously, get some... what a surprise, rutabagas, and I think you can turn that into moonshine. There's obviously different fields, so there's hop fields, rye fields. These are unlocked via knowledge, so you'll get people who'll come across and they'll trade you books, and if you can read the language, then you can then learn certain things from that. Okay, good. You've got your sort of help tree on the right-hand side, which is, again, indicative of a lot of these sort of games. What else have we got? Production. So instead of clicking on a building for production and setting limits here, it's all in the bottom. So you've got like bows and moonshine, ale, heavy armor, etc. You've got your finance here, which it's now giving us a little bit of an information panel on there. It's basically how much you're paying your peasants. It does say peasants, not my words, the game's. The peasants and the warriors, and how much you're paying them. There is prisoners in the game, where apparently you have to feed them. But basically you have to feed the prisoners and they don't get a choice in the matter, but they don't get anything else. Whereas the peasants, they will be given a certain allowance, and then they'll spend that on things like flour, meat, rutabaga, beer, ale, nectar, which is in the game, and moonshine or whatever. Stats-wise, we probably don't really need to look at that at this stage. Army, we have... well, if we were to create an army, we have to select a leader. So I'm going to go with... I'm going to call them Step. And that's basically our avatar, essentially, if we're playing like the main king here. And then you can assign all of your warriors to it. So these guys are like 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. So they're not very good in terms of their stats. But, I mean, you could say, there you go. We've now got some people armed with some... Are those spears or are those maces? I think those are maces. Did it say? It doesn't say, but I'm pretty confident that's maces. And then you create your army, but it costs to upkeep because, you know, standing armies. I like that. Excuse me. So, what else do we need? We need to build a lumber mill. We're cracking on with that now. In fact, it's getting built up here. And we need to have somewhere to pray. I think we're just going to wait for the lumber mill to be completed. Currently on 68% and working. And we'll see how we get on with that one. There's your dynasty, where we've got our 3 main people, and you can set, like, what they can do. So, you look, for the moment, they cannot consume nectar, but you can say, look, actually, Bob, you're not allowed to wield weapons. It's in case you've got, like, someone who you really want to protect, you don't want them to be armed up, and that's probably the reason for that. And trading, which there's nothing really going on at the moment. We can trade with some of our neighbours. So who have we got here? We've got Moonlake on the top left, and there are Varn. We're Varn as well, so we have a similar history, and that means that we have the same culture, it says there. So they are wanting to buy hops. Sorry, no, they're selling hops, but they will buy rutabaga. Oh, that's pretty good. Looks like Wind Peak, they are buying beer. Dust Valley, they're buying flour, and Great Mist, they are buying some ale, but selling wood. We've got a lot of wood, so it would be nice if there was anyone around here that would buy the wood, but yeah. We've just got an alliance proposal, so this is from Moonlake, and they are proposing an alliance. And you know what? I am going to say, join the alliance, and I need to send someone over to basically shake hands, and I'm going to send over Bob. And do we want to set over Bob, or is Bob in charge of? Oh yeah, we do not want to send over Bob. Can I cancel that? Can I cancel that? Cancel. Yes, we're going to send over the king. We're going to send over Step, and they're going to be heading off to accept that. Okay. So we've got this lumber mill, and once again, we need to assign someone to it. You can either right click and say set a person, or you can left click and it gives you all of the bonuses of what it does. So where they, whether it be just okay, you can actually assign prisoners, loyalists, or nectar addictors. So addicts. Yeah, you can assign them to that. I'm going to say for this one as well, I'm going to say upgrade. So that allows, I think, for an additional person to be assigned to it, and I think they work a bit better. This one is getting built, which is fine. I think we're going to go to production and service. We're going to place in probably an altar, and the altar can go maybe right in the centre, because why not? And we also need a tavern, which I'm going to place in here. And for production, there is a herbalist there. No, we need a brewery, so we're going to place the brewery right next to where we're going to actually drink it. So it's very much a local ale, or a local commodity. And let's just max this out while they carry on building, and we're just going to say assign Bob to that. Obviously, you don't want to put the same person on the same task, because it takes them a while, although I don't think they have to do it every day. I think they are happy to tell them what to do, and over the next couple of days those guys will crack on with that. We've got more building up the top here. How much do these take? 40 wood it takes for that. Looks like Step has left the province. We go to the world map. We can see they are heading over to Moon Lake to do some shaky hands, and then we'll be in an alliance, which is potentially beneficial. Ideally, you would want that, but let's see how things get on. This is actually a short preview, so we might not get into the whole big war type of stuff, but we're certainly going to do some fighting for the purposes of demonstration. And also, I would very much like to get Step's spouse back from being in, in with the bandits. So, greetings. I'm glad we're able to establish an alliance between our cities. We are undoubtedly in need of each other's support. Long gone are the times when neighbours lived in peace and harmony. Signed, King Perosvet. Then there's their seal. Okay. So, we are now in an alliance of 3 cities. Good. So, let's go ahead and... Oh, Bob received enlightenment... Rutabaga efficiency. So we definitely want to be assigning Bob to all of these then. So let's assign Bob to them, Bob to that one, Bob to that one. And workers have not received instructions today. Yes, that's because I've just assigned Bob to tell them what to do. Okay, good. So, we now have something else happening here. This is a trader. So, who is the best at talking? Holy Caravan's come along, which is fine, and I want to click on the trader. You can see things like their mood and such. We haven't really touched on this, but we can say trade, and naturally Bob is the best at at talking. So the trader is trading all manner of things, ranging from holy rings, jewelry used by lords to display status, gambling, dice games, and for settlements among themselves. You've got maces, that's what the weapon was. You've got your bows, you've got nectar, paper, etc. But also, and probably most importantly, you've got the books and knowledge. So we've got a hop field, we can increase efficiency. That's written in Varn, so if you don't speak that, then you have a problem. Then you've got alchemy lab, correct cutting, felled trees yield twice as much wood in the province. Braised rutabaga, so a special recipe that braised rutabaga that prevents death from rutabaga typhoid, does not prevent the disease itself. Flavoured for ale, temples, scaffolds, and peasant's house. I think we're going to go with a correct cutting and braised rutabaga, and I'm going to trade over because we've got loads of it, loads of wood. And the thing is with this, you have a market saturation value, so if you trade over a certain amount, in this case 150, more of that, you basically start to saturate the market, the price is going to go down. So yeah, we have that going for us, which is nice. Overall, trading here is not terrible. I'm actually going to pick up all of the iron as well, because we do need that. And we're actually getting 102 back, I think. And there's the trade. So that is now on the way. Let me go to upgrade to the next level of lumber mill. And I think that's pretty much all we need for now. I do want to form an army at some point, and I can get mercenaries. So for example, there's a mercenary there, 324 to get them, but they are level 15 in combat, and the highest we've got is 10. So they, in a fight against our main leader, would probably best them. Speaking of fighting, if I click on, say, Bob, we can give them actions like King, revoke leadership, pass the crown, gift things to them. You can educate, you can do some social stuff like hunting wolves, or have a chat, play a dice, challenge to a duel, seduce if that's the way you want to go down. You've also got later on poisoning, so you can do some like espionage stuff with yeah, against some nibs that you may or may not get on with. Let me go ahead and move this building. I'm going to assume, perhaps wrongly, that moving it here is going to cause everyone to, yep, they're going to have to get up. I don't think they would have liked that. Let me zoom in and click on them. Actually, no, they're not too bad. You've got an overall mood that is affected by sleep, food, rest, and piety. Your leaders have a couple of extras in there as well, and obviously you've got different thoughts. What else have we got? Their relationship. So yeah, it's all in there. It's all in there. Then we go to construction and to housing and a dormitory, which will be placed in. Placed in there. I think it's in the right position, but we shall see. And relationships tab. Yes, I'm aware of that tab. I think this is reset because of a recent upgrade. How we're doing for... We need to harvest rye crops. We've got nowhere to pray. We are working on the pray, but in fact, you know what? I am going to prioritise building the place to pray. Bob is giving instructions to the people who can harvest the rutabaga. I don't know how long it takes for them to do this. It just says produce rutabaga. Economic report. That's good. Let's have a quick look at statistics. And looks like we have a total of 70 rutabaga. It's gone... Where is it? It's there. Does it tell us how much we've got? Extracted resources? Doesn't say. Anyway, close that down. Let's, I can see we're felling some trees here. I think Step got hit by that tree, but there we are. I must confess, I do like the look of it and the animations. That's a big axe swing. Pretty good. All right, so we got Bob working on pretty much everything. We now have... Oh, the altar is now in there, and people are praying for hands being cut off, snakes, lips, think about the king, red skulls, and broken hearts. Okay. That's... I mean, that's an interesting looking altar. It literally has burning skulls. Are we the baddies? Anyway, King's ambitions. This is where we have to determine the overall ambitions for our king. Sort of clues in the title. King decides what it's time to announce the ambitions that will determine the future. You've got just fertile, which is the default recommended ambition, which is just gain a certain amount of people. You want to be conqueror, unifier, or have a good economy. We're just going to go with the fertile one. And there's the ambitions there, which is shown on the top left. You've also got matriarch's relationship. We get onto more of the religion-y stuff later on. We now only have 4 problems, but they all are ours, and I guess 2 of them are going to be fixed by building. Actually, no, 3 of them can be fixed by building because we want army barracks, and the barracks is just going to go on the back of our... Oh, back of the building here, next to the hall. That should do us quite nicely. I think also we are probably going to build another lumber mill over here. And let's see how we get on with that one. Today the ceremony of coronation will take place. It looks like... I think we were getting basically officially crowned because of the king's ambitions and such. And, oh, they're shaking each other's hands. Good. Thanks, Bob. And who's this here? This is Vitrad. They are a merchant, and they are currently praying. I guess they're overseeing what's going on here. And why have they got a cowl? What are they hiding in there? They're currently having thoughts of death, aren't we all? So yeah, that's going on over there. What about over here? These guys are strolling. That person is working. We've got these guys which are also working. I'm guessing technically building. No... Not everyone's been assigned to that yet. We will need some more people. We currently only have 11 peasants in this one. You can, as I said, get prisoners, and you've got warriors as well. In the army, can I recruit any more warriors? No, I can't. You can recruit them from peasants, but when you do that, they are understandably not overly keen on fighting. They're very green, and because of that, you want to sort of rank them up. It looks like we are finishing off building this brewery here. So the brewery is now built. Once again, we're going to appoint Bob as the manager. And I could upgrade it, but I don't think I need to. But what I do need to do is say moonshine. Let's do until we have Let's say 50. Is it 50? Sometimes it gives us a little shout up here. It actually doesn't tell us what we need. Okay, so we've got wood getting cut. We've got upgrades. And that is a big tree that's went down. In terms of trading on the world map then, this person wants Rutaburger. I'm going to trade and say city buys Rutaburger. I'm going to send probably Step over there and a freelance lord. We have a freelance lord available. Let's just jump back onto the world map. So we have the trader that's come along and we'll have Bob talk to him, but also there's Osilka here who's a freelance lord. Essentially we can pay money to them. Actually no, it might be pay rings actually. Yeah, I think it's rings, and we get them for 10 days. That is not terrible, and it does work. And what is going on here? I think we're still doing the ceremony here. Okay. Let's see. Are we going to talk to the trader? Yeah, Bob is trading. Oh, I think it's because of the time of day it is, or rather night. They're off to bed. Fair enough. So we can see like all of the peasants head off to their places. Very cramped, whereas our nobility hanging around the nice building in the middle. Let's go to trade again, and we've got longevity. Special diet and mental state will help slow down aging, causing it to begin 10 days later. Bow proficiency, alchemy labs, flavorful ales. Cooking meat. I'm going to pick up cooking meat, and we're going to trade over as much wood as we can possibly manage, and some rutabaga, I think, and that should do us for now. Okay, trading is completed. So, we are... Step, they're heading out now. They're going to have a talk with, if we go to the map here, Moon Lake, who is ruled by... is it ruled by... Perosvet. There they are there. And they're actually good in combat, but not... good in combat and command, but not really good at talking. Army recruit. 7 combat skills are available to recruit. Interesting. Don't think I want to do that. Let's see. Anyway, we've now able to set up a trade route. So we can say, basically, trade some rutabaga, and we trade 22 rutabaga, and we gain 66. You can say trade automatically if you know you're going to have loads, but I'm not going to turn that on just yet, simply because I don't know how much rutabaga I actually need. Statistics-wise, rutabaga's gone up. Actually, yeah, we're totally fine with that one, I think. Yeah, cool. So we've got the brewery in play. We've got the other building, the dormitory, working there. We've got protection of the loving family. Is that an event? We do have a couple of other problems. Harvest the right crop. We need a barracks. Books are not being studied. Correct. Books are not being studied. I want to focus on getting the barracks built. After that, we will go for, where would it be? Services and a library. And the library is going to go, probably here. That should suffice. You can build roads if you were so inclined. Obviously, you haven't done any yet, but you go for that one. And yeah, it's actually in roads. You've got different decor. So you've got lighting, and we can say like this double torch. So place it there. Doesn't seem to cost anything. Just seems to go down. Just a nice little touch. And at night it does actually light the area up, which is pretty good. Later on we may have problems when it comes to bandits and people stealing things, but that's a more advanced thing. How we're doing for the barracks. Barracks is going up, which is exactly what we want. And can we now go to army and recruit new warriors? So we do have a peasant that we can potentially get, but they're a fanatic. So we have a fanatic. So we'll not become a soldier until the ruler is a saint. Well, that ain't gonna happen in this video. Let's go ahead with Bob down the bottom here to tell people how to cut wood. Obviously, the instructions are a lot more advanced than... So what are we doing? See that wood thing? Yeah. Do you want to just chop it down? Yeah. What happens once it's chopped down? Just keep chopping, to be honest, until there's not much left, and bring it into the center. Yeah, no problem. We can do that. So anyway, we do have a barracks. So now a lot of the people that we're sleeping in, say here, will move over to the barracks. At least warriors will, at least. Over to knowledge, and we can now start to have different people learn. So for correct cutting, for example, I want to learn with Bob, and they're not very good at learning. Braised rutabaga, I want to learn with Bob as well, but I don't think it's going to happen. Rutabaga field efficiency. Who's actually good at that? Oh, Bob actually knows that as well. Interesting. Herbalist is Veronica, but they're not here at the moment. Cooking meat, I can learn with Step. I mean, they're really not very good at learning, are they? Okay, and it shows on the bottom right the percentage of their progress, which is 0. It ain't gonna happen. I think tomorrow what I'm gonna do is I'll have a look at the army and I'll see what percentage of chance we have of winning if we were to try and rescue our spouse. Trader, let's have a quick chat with Bob and see what they have to offer. They have some more weapons. Well, what we'll do is we'll take all of their iron, we'll take a couple of their weapons, and books-wise, fertilizing fields uses half the amount of wood. It's not terrible. I think we'll just stick with what we've got for now. So that'll be fine. Trade. Okay, I'm going to try the army. No, I'll try tomorrow maybe. I'm tempted to recruit someone, but it's going to increase the tax that we'll pay for the standing army. And it'll take a while to get here. Okay. Alright. So, Step has got 8%, or 9% on how to cook meat. Bob is studying correct cutting. We've also got Kapka here, 32-year-old, who is pretty good at combat. Do I want to hire them temporarily? Hire as a lord for 10 days. It costs 7 rings to do it. I think in the long term it probably is worth it, but for the purposes of this I'm not sure. Well, they're going to hang around a bit and then disappear. Looks like they're actually having a bit of a chat anyway and gaining experience. Everyone's off to bed now. And foreign trade report. We sold 22 rutabaga. We got 66 generic units of currency. So that's pretty good. Let's... Can we trade that again? I'm guessing not until next morning. I've not done a lot of trading in the game, I must confess. You see about the lighting that I mentioned around these here. So it does affect it. Economic report. Insufficient workers for rutabaga fields. Okay. Curious. Trading is completed. Let's go to... Bob having a sleep in? Trading with caravan has limitations. Always trade with neighbours on the map by signing contracts lasting 10 days. Oh, okay. Must confess the help navigator thing is very useful. Let's trade some more rutabaga. And armies. We can't hire anyone else. Let's go army, led by Step, and all of the warriors. Armour, and let's just go full melee. Actually, let's go full melee. Can we just assign more weapons? I mean, it's 8 to 5. Is there a reason why you wouldn't do that? Can you use arrows until you then fight in melee? So, warriors have a mood. Yes, they do. And they're probably not going to be overly happy because we are, in metal armour and it's raining. Let's go to world and to here. Action, attack, on the local map with our army. Victory chance is 57%. I'm going to send it anyway. This is, like I say, the purposes of demonstration. I wouldn't normally take this much of a risk. The last time I fought, our main character, they lost an eye in literally the opening volley, I think. What's going on here? Neutralization order. Oh, do you want some assassinations? Assassination, kidnap, rob library. Oh, okay. Right. Well, anyway, here is our army coming from Sparksville. You've also got Ravenwood and Farwatch. These are like little, what would you call them, settlements, and they give you a certain amount of, well, tribute there. But then the raiders can attack you. Call the raiders, actually bandits here. Okay, over to combat, and we can magically auto-battle the fight, or we can battle it. We are obviously going to go for battle. They've actually more people, I think. On leg 6, we've only got 5. Combat skill is 2 out of... Theirs is 5. Oh, their mood is lower as well. Okay, battle on map. It did say when we set off that we were a higher percentage chance of winning, but we'll see how we get on. So, we'll select our banner and move it around. Now, I don't know how detailed the combat is in terms of like getting into cover and things like that. We're basically going to head over to here and start attacking. Now, we have 3 people with bows, 2 people with maces. So, I do outrange them. Looking at what they've got spears. Okay, so can I say protect the archers? We will tell them to do that. And oh, look at that! You can fight from actually quite far away. So lock and loose. Oh, good hits, very good hits. Immediately, a couple of decent hits there, and this is where we may have some problems in the melee because, well, we are vastly under-equipped on that front. But I mean, good hits all round. That guy is slowed right down there. Hopefully we'll get another shot off before they get in. Let's go with protect the archers, turn that off, and then we'll charge in. And yeah, this is where it maybe goes all kinds of south. So these guys are gaining some experience and also some wounds, as it's just popped up about wound treatment. We'll see about that later on. Oh, one of our guys has already been felled by the look of it. So we've only got our main leader, Step. Oh, enemy commander has been unconscious, and I think pretty much one of our archers did a coup de grace and took them right out. I was going to say not very sportsmanlike, but oh, look, that person's given up in the middle. They have surrendered. 2 people have surrendered, and then those have been defeated. So, sadly, we have had 1 dead, and same for theirs. We have 1 dead, but we've captured 5. But the bandit camp has been destroyed. Relationship has gone up with the neighbours, and the attitude of the matriarch towards your king has gone up as well. So basically, the main leader. And Verona has been freed and returned to the city. So we will head back. The problem now is that we're going to have some wounds. So let's see what sort of wounds. This is Step, and we can see they have, injuries. 4 minor bruises and 2 cuts. Okay. They're also an agnostic and bald, which is -20 to interest, so people are not looking at them as much. Okay. But we're going to get back to our main settlement, and we will go from there. So we've now got some prisoners as well. So we've got a total of 5 prisoners. You can force them to do certain things. You can, you can actually, I believe, force them onto the army if you were so inclined. You can free prisoners and put them on the army. They're actually really good in combat. That's something that we can do, but then at the same time, would you trust them? But that has been a bit of the game. Yeah. I mean, that's like a very, very brief opener as to what you do in the game. Obviously, you're building up your settlement, you're doing trading, there's more things to learn, there's a lot more intrigue when it comes to the relationships between the different characters. You'll get a lot of people that get jealous and have different traits, and you can see the different thoughts that they have. Well, yeah, -6 pain, or at times 6 pain from injuries, -5 on that one, 15 in total, actually. But yeah, that's been a bit of Norland. Very much enjoying it. I'm definitely wanting to play some more, and indeed I'll be up for a series. Let me know what you think in the comments, and, well, we will see how we get on. As always, hope you have enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.